It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
What's up, Asheville? Welcome to What's Up Asheville here on WRES 100.7 FM. I'm your host, Sam Parada, communication specialist with the city, and today we're talking about Walton Street Park and what's coming next for the park itself. We have one city guest and two non-city guests, and I'm gonna go from my left to right. Sandra Smith, how are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing good. And you're part of the Southside community
yes.
Steering committee.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then we have Tracy Wyman with City's Parks and Recreation Department. How are you?
That's right. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Doing great. And finally, we have Burrus, also with the committee. How are you today?
I'm good, Sam. Thank you.
Right. So we have you all here to talk about Walton Street Park, the steering committee, engagement opportunities, just all surrounding what's going to be done with the park. Now, Tracy, if you want to give me a little bit of history on the park itself, historical, or anyone can jump in, but I just want a little bit of background information on it.
Okay, well, the whole history of the park can be found on the city's Walton Street Park project page that goes way back. Mm-hmm. And these ladies remember it from those times, most likely. But when I came on board with the city just about a year and a half ago, and mm-hmm. so just prior to that, a couple years prior to that, the pool had been assessed by professionals and deemed that it wasn't it had outlived its livable
and this was back in
course
2016,
of time. Yeah, 2016. It was published in 2017, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so a couple years later, the city was able to do a community survey to determine whether the pool should be rebuilt there, or perhaps it should be rebuilt with an upgraded center at the Wesley Grant Senior Center. And City Council, with the community input that they had received, opted for the Grant Center. And so at that point in time, the city's shift began to work with the community to find ways to really honor its historic past. And the first step of that was investing a good deal of money into immediate improvements, such as the playground, the open field, the walking path, and lighting and trees and so forth like that. So all of those things. But now the focus is a community-driven focus to get into more detail about mm-hmm. Just the pool and the pool house and preserving that historic legacy.
And the park was open to the public in 1939. Mm-hmm. So okay. That is a big, segregation period. Yes. All that stuff has a big impact on the community. Mm-hmm. So I want to hear from both of you. What are to you specifically, what does the park mean to you, from a family history to your community?
Well, it's like you said, the park was open in 1939, and in 1949 was when the pool and the pool house came mm-hmm. into existence. And at that time, because of segregation, it was the only pool in Asheville that the black community could use. And it wasn't just a Southside pool, because it just happened to be in our neighborhood, but it was a pool for black Asheville, mm-hmm. even black Buncombe County, not just us. So being a part of that community and growing up there, that pool was such a big part of that community, because we would, even if whoever came from whatever part of town, there was never any friction, because that was like the gathering point
right.
for the black community, black Asheville community, and there was always unity, and there was always camaraderie in that. There were people there that had games and recreation for the children. It was like our parents could send us to the park and they didn't have to worry about their children or our safety, because they knew that there was someone at that park that was nurturing them. We had people there. There was a man we call him Big John. He was the lifeguard there, and he taught probably, if you learned how to swim in Southside neighborhood, it was called Big John. And so we have all of those memories with that park and that connection with that park, because, like I said, it was just not our park. It was the black communities, Black Asheville's communities park.
So like the only place for you to gather,
Right.
really.
Right.
So the importance is there. Do you want to add anything to that, Dee?
No, the only thing I just want to add, just like Sam said, it was a place where our kids learned how to swim. I know today I hear a lot about our black kids have no idea or haven't been able to swim or learn how to swim. And Walton Street Park was a place where my daughter, my grandkids were able to go and learn how to swim. And today, with my granddaughter, she has taught her kids how to swim. So it's a generation thing as it go on, and I know that's the same for Sand and her kids. And they pass that along for generations so our kids know how to swim. And I think that's a very important thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that you know, it makes sense why the opinions on the pool are so, you know, all over the place, because, you know, there's more pools available now throughout Asheville, but none of them have that level of importance, like that personal importance to you. So, you know, if we want to talk a little bit about the feelings and emotions behind it, and I want to hear from you specifically, you know, why can we not move forward with the pool, and why now we have the slogan from pool to possibilities. From a member of the public, what does that mean to you, and, you know, realistically?
Well, from pool to possibilities, you know, I think one of the reasons why you asked why it was so difficult to move ahead is because of all of those memories, and because that pool was not just a pool, the whole park. It was a nurturing place for the black community. So they have all of those. They still have all of those memories of that was their. It was their place. It was our identity. It was our place. And so now, in realizing that the pool is not going to be there, we have to figure out a way. They still have that commodity with that park. It's still their identity, but then we have to look forward to the next generation. You know, I had my, I had my memories there at that pool, and they were great memories. My children had their memories there, but now I am a grandmother and a great-grandmother. And so now I'm looking at the possibilities of what my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, what is going to be their memories of Walton Park. You know, so we have to get the mindset out that we need to, like you said, from pool to possibilities. You know, what are the possibilities now for the park for the next generation of black kids in America? In Asheville, what's going to be their identity? What's going to be their memories? You know, that they hold on to.
I love that mindset. It's, you know, we always stick to what we want, and we sometimes forget that there's people that still need to live out their life experiences. And so, you know, maybe not a pool, but there's options. And so I want to shift a little bit to the survey and the engagement that is being carried out right now. There is a survey that went live on March 31st, and it will be open until May 31st. And in that survey, you can, you know, leave your feedback on what do you think can be done with the space, what do you want to see. So if you want to get involved, that's a great way to, you know, a great place to get started. So go on publicinput.com/Walton, and you can go ahead and take the survey. You'll find more information, historical information with links and other stuff on that project page. And there's other opportunities, such as the spring extravaganza Does anyone want to talk about that? Dee?
The spring, I am not sure much on the
Oh,
spring.
I gotcha. I just wrote this down as a
Yeah, I think that's the event that Burton Street community. Their community is right now up under construction. They have this spring extravaganza every year, so they'll be doing it at Grant Center this year because they can't use their community center. It's on April the 19th.
From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yes. And so the Southside United Association and the steering committee for the Walton Park, we're going to be at that event with surveys.
Yes.
For people to fill out, because it won't just be people from Southside that'll be at that event. There'll be people from Burton, there'll be people from East End, hopefully all over Asheville, to be able to participate in the survey, because like I said earlier, it was Black Asheville's
Everyone's
pool.
coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
Black Asheville's pool. So we want to get that out so people can come by, and we will be there to give you a survey.
Yes.
So we're trying to get the word out to this time everybody can participate in the surveys and get that done.
And also come meet the committee. These are the people that meet and the people who are working to get this done as best as possible.
Yeah.
And then another opportunity to meet the committee is on the Silo Fun Day on May 25th from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Linwood Crump Silo Community Center. So, again, same thing, just show up, fill out the survey in person. We'll have the people there to help you meet the members. And so from that point forward, once the survey closes, then the opportunity for planning parks will take some time to assess and then move forward with
Our key role now is the community engagement.
Yes.
And whatever we need to do to get the communities involved in this project, we need all the help and input we can get. We're thankful for the city for working along with us and other communities that's really helping us with this engagement. And Southside United, as we meet on a monthly basis, this has been our place where we can help work together with the steering committee to get this information out.
So tell me a little bit, or you wanted to say something?
Well, I just wanted to add that this has really kind of been an exciting process because it is a community-led engagement, and it's been really fun to support the community in this. And so the role of the city has been to create a lot of these materials and just do whatever we can to support the steering committee. And one of those things is we've distributed printed copies of the survey at every community center. So if you're not able to attend one of those events that Sam mentioned, you can pick up a copy of the survey at your community center, at the community center closest to you. And or you can just scan the QR code in your phone and take it digitally. But a lot of people like to do it, in the printed version. And so we've made that available. In addition, we've placed stacks of flyers at every Asheville housing development. And the housing development staff is going to be distributing them to every resident. So we're really doing everything we can to get input from everybody that might be interested in this project.
Yeah, and this is a special project in that sense because most times the city will carry out engagement. We have social media, we have the website, we have surveys, and we do have community engagement staff that will go out to neighborhood meetings, or they'll go door to door, targeting, being very targeting with that. I had to go door to door a few times in Riverview for Helene recovery stuff. So we have people out there handing out stuff. But I see it so rarely that, you know, community members jump in and they really take the lead on like, this is what we want to do, this is who we want to target, so let's go ahead and do it. So a big thank you to both of you and to the whole committee for, you know, joining us in this endeavor, because it's not easy. Engagement is not easy.
And the steering committee has set up a focus group. I think it's going to happen on April 12th with youth. So it'll be a direct focus group with youth, and then they're working to engage youth in actually distributing some of those flyers to doors in relevant neighborhoods. So you guys are just doing a lot of work on this.
Yeah, we want part of that engagement with the youth is we want them to envision Walton Street Park, because there are a lot of the children that live in Southside now that really don't know the history of Southside, really don't know what it was about, what it meant, how important it was, don't know the history of the pool, what it meant, how important it is. So with this new From Pool to Possibilities in envisioning the next generation of black kids, we want them to understand and be a part of and what is going to happen with their, the park and the pool area.
It's so difficult for someone who's young to like try to understand the history and live the experience because they didn't live through it. So it's interesting for me to try to envision them creating their own history of this park and, lifting it up from where it is right now. I wanted to ask a little bit about, the Southside United Neighborhood Association Steering Committee. How did it start? What's the process that you go through? And more specifically to when did you become involved with the city as a partner? If you have the answer to that. That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Well, the steering committee is like we said, we're trying to get help and trying to get so many people, get other people involved. The steering committee comes out of the Southside United Neighborhood Association. People that are in that association, the steering committee came about because we, after the city had done the renovations to the park, with the money that they had to do, there was some funds left over to try to visualize what was going to happen with the pool area, because the pool area is just there, and we know it can't stay there just like it is. So that's what the steering committee came into existence, to try to do what we're doing now, visualize what's the possibilities of this pool area.
And then I know you were meeting, June, July, August, and then Helene hit.
Right.
So that kind of threw a wrench in pretty much anything and everything that we were trying to do.
Yeah.
How did that impact you specifically, and when did the committee start meeting regularly again?
Well, it impacted us because you know how you get started and you're on fire and we're going, and we had our Southside reunion this year, and we had geared up. Part of that reunion was surveys and doing things to get this vision going. Unfortunately, it was a rain day. We were going pretty good, and then the sky opened up, and so we didn't get a very large response to the survey because of that. But then that was in August, and then of course the next month is when Helene hit us. So we just kind of got stopped because of everybody got stopped, and so now after Helene, it's I think last month was our first meeting again after Helene hit, and we're trying to get started up again with this, with all these engagements that we're going to do, envisioning new ways to get this survey out, because we have to go forward. So we kind of at the point now where we're going to do this widespread, hit it with everything we can do survey, and then collect the data and go from there. And that's why we're trying to make the people understand, the importance of you doing this survey, because it's a like she said, it's a committee-led thing. I mean, community-led thing, and we want your voice. You know, we want you to tell us what you envision for Walton Street Park in the future, especially for the next generations. We don't want it just to be said that this is what's going to happen and this is what's going to be done. We want the community to say this is what we want to happen and this is what we want to get done. Because they did that with the renovation part. A lot of the renovations that was done, it was based on what the people said they wanted the basketball court to look like, what they wanted the playground to look like. And when you have that kind of input from the community, and you feel like you got, they listened and you got some of what you wanted, there's more of a pride thing of taking care of and nurturing the park.
You know how I know you're a listener of this show? Because I always say that. Every episode. And if you listen to the show often and you hear me say, get involved, we want to hear from you, hear it from Sandra. At the very, very least. So yeah, you said that very, very well. And this is the time for the community to get involved with how things are going to be built back from the storm, because right now we have endless list of projects for infrastructure to be rebuilt, and a lot of them, the more complex ones, we're trying to work on a system for to receive input and make sure that it's back how it was, and then make improvements if possible. So it's the time, get involved. Put your input on what you want to see in the future. Don't get too crazy. right. Because I'm expecting. Well, I don't know. What do you expect the survey to look like in terms of responses? What people want to see back, or better even yet, what do you want to see?
What I want. What
are your possibilities that you want to see, Dee?
That's a really great question.
Yeah, I would like to see a place where community can come together, whether it's social events or just a place that our kids or grandkids can come together to have programs, whether they're playful programs or learning programs. We can use this space to leave our history there so the young people can come in and see history on the walls of this building. I like to have maybe a kitchen put in. Southside community, we don't have a kitchen. We use the Grant Center a lot for events, but there's no kitchen. And I think we need that in the space of Southside community, is a place with a kitchen. It's hard now for community members, if we have a death in the family, we want a place for family members can meet. We don't have that. They have to go out somewhere and try to rent a place or whatever. But I think by doing it, making it a place where community can come together, even have entertainment, it would be a good thing for our community. And especially a good thing for the young people, because they do not know the history of Southside. And that way we can share what we know with our young people in the community. I just have so many other visions going on, but I know it's just, like you said, let's don't go too big. Right. But the main thing is a place where we can house this, and especially store our history.
Okay. How about you? What do you want to see?
Basically, what she said, I would like to envision it again as being a nurturing place, because that's what it was for us when we were growing up. It was a place of nurture. It was a place of safety. It was a place where we could come and didn't have to worry about, what these kids now have to deal with, gunshot, gunfire and all this, and crime in the community. It was a place that, because people had pride in it, they themselves made sure it was safe. They themselves checked each other and made sure it was a nurturing place for everybody. And I would like to see that happen again.
That's awesome. If I could just add, kind of the cool thing about the timing of all this. I mean, we had to pause, because of Tropical Storm Helene. However, then picking up in March and conducting the survey through April and May will lead to them, the steering committee working with the city to analyze the survey data and put together a community shared vision statement, which is endorsed by the Southside United Neighborhood Association. And so that's what our design team then will use to develop concepts and bring back to the community and show the community for final feedback. So the cool thing is all this timing, all these events are kind of perfectly timed with the passing of the bond referendum.
Mm-hmm.
And those funds also coming into this project now. So instead of $95,000 or whatever that's left over for this project, we can add another $1 million to that, or
That
up
is a huge
to.
difference.
And so instead of just being able to
Pave the floor.
put up a few shade shelters or something like that and call it a special place, we can really get creative and make it something that's really lasting and special for the community. So we're excited to hear all the input.
I'm excited about that because thinking about the history, as you know, that Livingston Street School was our elementary school. And there was a lot of history in that building, from band equipment and all that. Where is that now? I don't know.
I think some of it is here.
Yeah. But to have some of
Yes.
that history in a building in the Southside community would be great, you know, because I think that's something that we need to save, you know, because that was our elementary school. And I would love to have that history somewhere in a building in Walton Street.
So have you taken the survey yet?
No.
You should.
Hey, you know what though,
I
Sam? And Dee and Sandra, 84 people have.
Okay.
And
That's-
we've only, we launched yesterday.
That is
Yes,
crazy.
that is
That is
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
number.
That is.
We haven't even passed out a third, you know, we've got so much more information that's going to go out there. So
Oh,
anyway.
that's great.
Anyway.
Yeah, go to publicinput.com/Walton. You'll have everything in there. Take the survey. Dee,
Well,
Yeah.
Sandra,
Me too, I
take the
agree.
survey. Anyone listen, take the survey and have fun with it. Be realistic again. Like don't
Yeah, we have
put
to.
in a Ferris wheel or a nice
A pool.
skating ring.
We will not have a pool.
No, don't put it in the pool.
No pool.
Possibilities only, not pool.
Right.
And just take the survey. And a thing about engagement with surveys a lot of the time is that you think, okay, I took the survey and then what? So like, yes, we'll analyze the data, compile it, and then release it for you to see it, and then there will be a chance, I think you mentioned it, Tracy, there will be a chance for comment on the survey again.
Comment.
Not on the survey, but on the responses.
On the SUNA will make the responses available to
Yes,
everyone
okay.
publicly. But then it's going to come at about the same time that the city is actually bringing on a design team that'll be ready to start in early August. And so
Yeah.
they'll be able to then draw that idea and bring that to the community. And the community will have that final opportunity for impact, or excuse me, for input before that design team takes it through their construction drawing stages.
Yeah, so a big part of engagement is, getting involved is one piece, but then the other one is patience. Because, I answered this survey last year. Why have I not seen the thing yet? And that's because, there's a planning process, there's the construction, materials, all that stuff, and that takes time. Sometimes things happen, weather, etc. But what's important is that we have people working constantly on it. Can people show up to the steering committee meetings?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Show up to the steering committee meetings to
Yes.
see the
Yeah,
work.
Yes. And
tell
the
them where the
Southside
SUNA meets.
United meetings also. We meet the third Thursday of every month.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Please come, community, and be a part, because like we say, we are stretched thin. We usually have 3 or 4 people doing 3 or 4 different like this, then we might have something else going on today.
Yeah.
We need help. We need the community to be a part of the Southside United Association, because the steering committee, all these other committees come out of that committee. The ideas and the things that we envision for the community comes out of the Southside United Association.
Yep. So get involved.
Get involved.
Please.
Get involved. Come meet Sandra and Dee in person.
Yes.
But yeah, well,
And I will, just a final
one
word
because
at
we're
the
out of time.
end. The construction timeline should be developed by early 2026, so people can begin looking for it then. So
Perfect.
you'll need patience, like Sam spoke to, but not a whole lot, because we're gonna move forward with this.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you both, Tracy, for supporting us so well. And yeah, that's all the time we have on this episode of What's Up Asheville. Thank you for listening and get involved.
Get involved.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRS 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12